All right, so we picked up right here. So we were saying that in about that year, 2013, both beer, or excuse me, 2033, both beer and hard liquor should be at the same market share at about 41.43%. And I got the 41.43 again by taking that value that we found for T and substituting it into either one of these equations, either the hard liquor or the beer. It would have worked out pretty much either way, right? As you can see from my calculator. Alrighty, then it says to use your calculator to verify your work. Well, they don't mean do what I just did, which is, substitute. That's not what they mean. They mean to put in those equations. So you go to y equals, you clear out your old stuff for GM and GM and Toyota, excuse me, and you type in the new. So you'd say, okay, hard liquor is 0.375x plus 29. Enter. And then for beer, it's negative 0.5x plus 58. Enter. All right, then you want to make a window that's sensible. And of course, you want to verify what you already did. You already know that you think they intersected about 33, right? So make it so your x goes from 0 to 40. That seems good. 45 also seems good. Whatever. Just go bigger than what you have. Now again, the y min, we know that negative percent of consumption is impossible, right? But we still like that to be a little bit low because you want to be able to see that x-axis when they start writing stuff at the bottom of the page or the bottom of the screen. So I'm going to make it negative 10. Now my y max, I don't want it to be 30. For one thing, I think they intersect around 40, but I want to go even bigger. If you look at your y-intercepts, the lower y-intercept is 29. The higher y-intercept is 58. So I'm going to go from negative 10 to 60. That way I'll be sure to cover my 58. So there's the 29 and growing, there's the 58 and shrinking, and you can see they intersect over here. So you go second, calculate. It's above your trace button. So second trace, you want to go calculate. Pick number 5 for intersect. Is y1, which was my hard liquor, is that your first curve? Yes, it is, so I press enter. y2, is that your second curve? Yep, so press enter. Guess, move to the right. Get your cursor just kind of closer to these. You can actually get it so it's practically on top of them, that's fine. And press enter. And there you go, 33.143 and 41.429. So it's actually a little bit more accurate that way. That's okay. Now you don't have the lovely copy and paste feature I have, so you're going to have to draw that picture by hand. So you want to draw a picture of your screen, kind of show the X shape, make it accurate, and then say, yep, they intersected at 33, 41 point whatever. So the intersection, so you might want to note the calculator is a bit more accurate because it stores, or it keeps all the decimal places. We rounded to 33.14. So if we would have kept it 33.142857, etc., then we would have been more accurate for our final answer. All right, so that's just a little note to ourselves. But we can also say we should probably answer their question, which is yes. Oops. Yes, the calculator's if I can spell, calculator's value or intersection point of 33.143, 41.429 matches our by hand work. Yay! Now, what are we trying to teach you with that? We're saying to you a couple things. One, we might give you these problems in terms of do it by hand, or we might do it by calculator, or we might say both. If I say to do it by hand, i.e. substitution and elimination, that's code for doing it by hand, nobody's stopping you from double checking yourself with the calculator. So even if I say to do it by hand, you can still do it by hand and then double check yourself with the calculator. And if you get the same numbers, more or less, than what you got up here, then you know you did it right. Right? If I ask you to do it by calculator, make sure you know how to do it. So it's not enough just to know the algebraic method. You also want to be able to use your calculator down here to do it graphically, because there are times, especially in later chapters, where we're not going to do it by hand because it's so tedious to do it by hand. So you want to make sure you know how to find an intersection with a calculator. All right, we are all done with that section. I know it was a very short video for that one, but I'll meet you back here for the next one.